What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Stocks to Watch. And I'm doing this a little late today because I couldn't find the time, but I'm ensuring that I do this every single day. So the markets again were weak, and you can see the mid cap Nifty chart on your screen, and this kind of tells you the story. Very big bearish candle. And it actually started the day well. I think in the first 10-15 minutes it did try to break the day high, but then it just immediately reversed and kind of came back down. Nifty, I think same story has happened in Nifty as well. The demand zone that we were aiming for, Nifty just broke below that, and now Nifty is trying to probably take some kind of support from the 50 EMA, which I don't really think is going to be as simple because there's no real demand over here. So I think there could be a possibility that Nifty kind of stays within this range. So I think this could be the range, maybe until here in which Nifty operates. So maybe another 200, 250 points lower, and then, maybe it kind of stays or consolidates in this range. But again, to say anything, with respect to Nifty is kind of very tricky. It's definitely, weak at the moment if you see the last 3 days of action, but overall it's still in an uptrend. So unless and until Nifty kind of stays above this swing high, sorry, the swing low, I'm not really going to be bearish on Nifty. But yeah, I mean, if you're taking Nifty specific trades, the entire idea is to be bearish. Now even if you look at the 15-minute chart, you can just see the kind of weakness that it has. And if I actually turn it to the hourly, right, you'll basically get a better idea. So if you look at the hourly, Nifty is definitely very, very bearish, right? So you don't really have any room as far as Nifty is concerned. So just look at this, right? This entire area, maybe we get like a sweep below this liquidity and then a reversal on the upside, but that's really not something that I see happening. The best case scenario for Nifty seems to be this area of demand for me, which is near the same area that I was talking to you about, 25, maybe another 300 points lower from here, which is the 25 550 to 25 450 range. That's basically the best buying spot because that's where this entire big move kind of started. So I think that's the only play in Nifty, which is this little demand zone right here, which I've just marked, and it could breach the moving average. And it has done that in the past, right? Sneaked below the 50 EMA, and then the next big rally that came in. So I think Nifty, mid cap Nifty, both pretty bearish. And even if you look at Nifty Bank, I think the story is the same. So I think this is a market to selectively play equity, and maybe some stocks here and there in the FNO segment, which are relatively stronger than the market. So I'll just first go and open the list from 10th of December, which were the stocks that we were tracking. Now, ESUB India, we were just talking about this yesterday, that there could be a trade initiated over here, and the stock is up 5.5%. Very, very strong action. If you watched yesterday's episode, I think you would recognize that. SMS Life Sciences, again, another name that we discussed. It's also trying to do something similar, but I think we spoke about to the trade on a weekly rather than on the daily time frame. So I think this still kind of works. Then we've got Indian Hume Pipe, which is also setting up and relatively stronger than the overall market. So I think everything's pretty good until now, and then rest everything was kind of flat. So Kajaria just reacting from this, MMFL, Idea. Idea did actually move up at one point of time. You can see the wick, but it didn't really was able to close properly. TVS Electronics was one name which got deeper inside the order block, and that's the reason I always tell you that wait for a green candle close over here, and once you see that, only then we take an entry. That's why we didn't really take an entry in neither TVS Electronics, neither Lumax. MobiKwik, it's still in that range, so I think there could still be a play in this. But apart from that, everything was largely flat. Now, if we look at the watch list that I have for you for tomorrow, one stock that we discussed previously was Fabtech Technologies, and it has now moved inside this base area. So I think this is the area where an entry can be initiated. I would want to have a wider stop, like a 10-12% stop, and then try to try to maybe play this for maybe a month or two as a positional play for like a 20-25% move. So that's a play that we can do in Fabtech. Next up, we've got our cable. And the reason I'm liking the stock is the left side of the chart looks absolutely phenomenal. So if you really look, what exactly is happening over here, it's literally like a very good contraction setup that's being, setting up at the moment. So I think, it is pretty nice. So I really like the way this is setting up. And apart from that, I think the left side of the chart is actually good because the stock has been trying to recover. And if you look at the broader picture, I'll just show you what exactly I'm talking about. This is the weekly for RR Cable. Stock had been bullish, when it IPO'd late in 2024. But I think now this base is looking quite attractive, and the stock was beaten down, and it's a part of the entire industrials bucket, which kind of reacts really well to fiscal changes. Next up, we've got another one from the same industry. This is rather in the plywood. Again, like, it's a building materials category. This is Century Plywoods, and just look at the daily base, right? It's absolutely phenomenal. If you look at the weekly, I think it's a very very solid chart, and I'm definitely going to be interested in taking this. So, what's going to be my plan for this? I think, although I am worried about the supply here, but I think it's a market where you have to play the winners. So I think an entry right here at the closing, which is tomorrow morning maybe, with the stop around 6-7%, and then again aiming for a 1 to 3. Again, a mandatory disclaimer: anything that I'm saying is not a financial advice. So please do your own due diligence. Then we've got another chemicals and petrochemical pharmaceutical stock, sorry, and which is JB Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals. And just look at the base. I mean, this is again very beautiful. And this stock has been a outperformer. Just look at the left side of the stock. It's just a consistent outperformer. And again, I think we have an entry here. So I rarely tell this, like very rarely kind of give you so many entry ideas. But today is the day where I think I just want to, try it out. Obviously, the markets are not the best, but I think these setups do deserve, maybe a point 0.5 hour or maybe like a small size just for a starter, because on the short side you can basically only play FNO, nothing in equity. But I think these stocks do deserve one chance, because if you're managing risk really well, and we get a reversal or we get some uptick, because even though the markets are falling, um, the broader markets or the mid caps and small caps, they are still having outperformers, right? I'll show you that also. Next up, we've got Chola Fin. Now, this is from the FNO space. I really like the base on the hourly. I really like the way it is setting up for like an expansion. So I'm going to be keeping this on my radar. It doesn't really have an entry at the moment, but maybe while seeing the intraday charts, there could be a play. I think I really like the base which is being set up near the moving averages. Everything is setting up really well. Torrent Pharma, another name, setting up really well. I think this is ready to explode. So there could be an entry possibility in this one. Again, tight stop below the swing, 2.5, 2.6%, and then a trade over here. That's something that I'm watching. Hindustan Zinc is also very good. And this is something that I'm looking from a positional aspect. Just look at the weekly. Stock has run up really, really nicely. The left side is pretty good. I think this is just ready for an explosion. So this is probably one of my highest conviction ideas of the day. 11, 12% stop, and I am, I wouldn't use the word guarantee, but I'm just saying I'm really really confident that the next 3 to 6 months this stock is just going to explode like anything. These kind of structures you don't get every day. So if and I might take a position in this tomorrow, right? And I personally believe that there is a lot of room on the upside for this one, with the metal upcycle, right? Aluminum prices about to soar, silver, gold, zinc, copper. I think it could have a really good action. So these are the stocks that I'm going to be watching out for, and I've given you my view about the markets. Markets are in a danger zone. This is not a go long anything kind of a market. This is a very selective market. So please be very careful in what you believe could be setting up. I am going to be, if I want to go long, I'll be selecting any of these 7 stocks to go long. Just before I wrap up, I want to tell you what exactly is happening in the markets. I'll just open the mid cap space, right? So I'm just going to open mid cap names, and you can just see, right? Even in a weak market, you've got stocks which moved 6-7%. In the small cap universe, also there were a few names which are up 20%, 18%, 10%, 9%. So I mean, there is selective action happening left, right, and center. So be very selective. And if you want to play it on the long side, do it. If you don't find a good setup, please take cash. Maybe wait for the markets to turn bullish. Shorts, definitely you can play on intraday, on the intraday front. So, yep, that's it from my side. I hope you liked the video. Drop in your comments about this episode and do hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.